Just listen. A young girl just left here, alone.
Don't be frightened. We won't hurt you.
Let me out.
I'm afraid that is quite impossible. I need you.
You need me?
Yes.
What for?
Good evening, goblins and ghouls, and welcome to the Wednesday night Scream Stream Mini-sode. I am your host, Spakenstein, joined as always by my very good friend, Mr. Evan Sink. How we doing tonight, Evan?
Good evening, good evening. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you for being here, sir. As you can...
Joy to be here.
Always a joy to have you here. And as you can see, Mr. Fresh Rogan is not with us tonight. That is why his photo is a nice black and white, because he cannot be with us. He's not dead. He is not deceased. He's just not joining us this evening. I assure you.
The black ribbon over his photo.
Right. If he has passed on, then we would have like a bouquet around his picture, and we'd be saying some words, but no, I assure you he's very much alive. He just could not be with us this evening. So me and Evan holding down the fort here tonight as we enjoy another exciting chapter of The Phantom Creeps starring Bela Lugosi. And
ooh, I wonder what's gonna happen.
It's kind of there's not really much left to wonder at this point, except what the fuck is actually going on in this serial, because we're on chapter 9, and honestly, I mean, Evan and I could probably go ahead and tell you right now what is gonna happen for this episode tonight, just based on how all the other episodes have been, because it gets pretty repetitive.
Based on the title and based on,
yes,
how every other episode has gone down.
The title of
the
tonight.
show, it's like a game of football. They're just passing possession of this meteorite back and forth.
Pretty much, it is. It is just a meteor football, and it's.
But nobody's gotten a touchdown yet.
No touchdowns.
Whatever that would mean.
I guess it would be like world domination or something. There's the School of Languages, there's mad scientist Lugosi, there's gangsters, there's government agents, there's a reporter. I mean, the players are all there, good teams, but how does anybody actually win the game? That remains to be seen, because it is just a lot of passing back and forth. It is like a very boring football game with a lot of passing, and just
what's your fantasy creeps lineup?
Well, I think that at some point, if Lugosi really wants to win, he's gonna have to team up with the School of Languages bros. He's also gonna have to cut Monk, his assistant, because He is dead weight. He does not serve his purpose for the team, and
He's not going to make the draft.
no, not draft material at all. He's out of shape. He doesn't work out in the off season, and it shows.
Not a team player.
Nope, not a team player. No, actually, if you have been watching these episodes with us, then you know that the assistant is absolutely not a team player, because he turns on Lugosi or the G-men or whoever he promises to help every episode. He's just a flip-flopper. Whatever you would call somebody who's hopping around from team to team, and it's not reliable.
Yeah, that's my favorite position in football. The flip flopper.
Mm-hmm. Well, every good team's got one. You gotta have a good flip flopper. The only way that your quarterback is gonna know how to spike it to the full running back is if you get your flip flopper in there to actually flip flop it in your favor.
A little unpredictable.
It does, and they do get paid minimum wage, Sylar, and that is correct. But again, they get a lot of endorsement deals.
Right, that's why they always have like M&Ms on the football suit.
Right, exactly. Turncoats and what is that word? Perfidy.
Perfidy.
What does perfidy mean, Sylar? I don't even know what that means. Perfidy. Well, yeah. I mean, that's a reason there's all these rules that the players have, and that the cloak and dagger football. Well, yes. Wouldn't that be a little more exciting?
Yeah.
Add element of mystery into your game. I mean,
one of the team has the ball, another one has a knife.
Who's gonna come out on top? That's the mystery. That's what the executives at the NFL, they're sitting in their boardroom right now. They're like, "What's the one thing that football is missing right now?" Mystery.
A knife.
And then the guy that was like, "Oh, I was gonna say daggers," and it's like, "Oh, well, let's have both. We can do both. Let's knock out two birds with one stone." Ratings are gonna go through the roof.
We're talking about American football. If it was very American football, the player would have a gun.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Way to get topical, Evan. Yes. If it
Never
really
not topical.
If it really was truly American, never not topical. If it was truly American, yes, everybody would be carrying AR-15s when they. Well, then, Sylar, aren't you just, if you add multiple balls, aren't you just talking about Quidditch? Essentially, at a certain point, doesn't it just become Quidditch? Might as well have the balls flying around on their own. Leave it to Elon Musk to actually make Quidditch. Somebody's gonna make it. I mean, I'm sure somebody has already made flying balls.
Right. Well, Mark Zuckerberg might make it in the metaverse.
Oh God, get out! You can make anything.
That's how he'll get you to hook in.
Yes. Yes. Well,
fly around on a broomstick.
It's honestly, you'd sell me. I'd be sold on it. Honestly, hey, the metaverse, it's just gonna be another one of those things that everybody just uniformly adopts. It's just okay.
It's got Harry Potter in it.
Well, yes. Hey, well, if you've ever dreamed of playing Quidditch, then that reality might be just around the corner. Who knows? When. No, what is Sylar talking about there, Evan?
I remember having the conversation, but I really do not remember what the context was.
The substance of the conversation. Well, hey, so Metaverse PF Changs. I mean, I think that's an attainable dream for you and Sylar and Evan. Certainly. I mean,
I've always wanted to run a PF Chang's in the metaverse.
Yeah, I was gonna say who's gonna run the day-to-day and who's gonna do the big picture stuff. Yes, of course.
Yeah,
NFT is the
okay.
only currency for your metaverse restaurant. Any metaverse restaurant. NFT currency. That's,
Yeah.
that's the standard. Not Bitcoin.
Do you now accepting MasterCard, Discover, and NFTs?
God, it's bullshit. I mean, I hope that, the NFT craze, I think, has kind of died down at this point. I hope it has. I'm not
Just waiting
not
on the next
crazy.
thing.
Do what?
Now I'm just waiting on the next thing.
Well, it's got to be the, some kind of new um crossover between art and commerce, and it's gonna be worthless. Yeah, worth its weight in fool's gold. Yeah. Yeah, Solern, I would say that's a pretty good way to describe an NFT. Certainly fool's gold.
Artmers.
Artmers. Yeah. Artmers. I mean, that is, I think, essentially what NFTs are kind of, but it's just in the most extreme way of like, how does anybody actually own anything? I don't know. I don't know enough about
Artmerse.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know enough on it.
Artmerse is my favorite Game of Thrones character.
Artmerse. So he's got to be a mercenary, right?
Right.
A French mercenary, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense. How a French mercenary ended up in wherever I'm not a Game of Thrones person either.
Westeros, is that a thing?
It's got to be. It's close. Thing. It's somewhere. Yeah, it's somewhere on the map. It's one of the places in there.
He's up on the wall.
Yes.
Physical art traded as currency. Yeah. Okay. Next time you're out, you're dining out. Would you take 1/100th of this Monet? Please bring me my change.
I mean, that's essentially like I mean, I feel like that's essentially what they were kind of trying to do with NFTs, right? Is like make it where you're basically you're trading digital art as currency. It's almost like, okay, I have this valuable thing. But imagine, in real life, you come in with a giant canvas painting and you're like, all right, I would like to buy I don't know, what are you going to buy? An expensive meal? Who knows? I mean, taking a fancy vase. Just steal whatever, go to a fancy restaurant.
Trading art for art.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much, start holding art hostage, and that's where you start crossing the line. It's all the dangers of physical art. That's why it's all got to be digital, baby. That's what
the mint is just staffed by a bunch of painters.
Right, exactly. Like,
treasury.
Yeah, we threw out all the machines that were making money. We just have these people here. They're just
got a bunch of art students working around the clock.
Painting. There's no uniform look to any of this currency. We told them to just paint whatever, on each little bill, whatever they wanted, so that everybody gets something different. But sometimes it's hard to see if it's a 5 or a 10 or a 20.
I think the free market decides that. That's that's
true.
NFTs.
That's a good point. It's the value of
free market determines the value.
Is it a cool monkey face, or was the artist just in a depressed mood that day, and you just got a dollar bill that's just pitch black? I mean, and it's up to it's up to the consumer to decide what the value is, right?
That might be kind of cool though, like an all black dollar bill, Roth dollars, maybe.
I mean, but what's the point? That's kind of the modern like modern trends of fancy sleek design. It's like all black, like this is the peak of luxury, and with a black dollar bill, I mean, it would look wild in your wallet, that's for sure.
When you say that, or what are you envisioning? Just like a banknote that is still still has all the shapes and markings of a regular dollar. You can make it out. It's just kind of dark and shaded in such a way, or just like a rectangular dollar bill that is just jet black.
The latter,
completely.
yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Like a
That's
Phantom
what I
black
see. Yes, absolutely.
banknote.
Completely. Yes.
It would
All
be pretty
black.
cool.
I
It
mean,
would almost.
you wouldn't be able to like, you gotta hope that it's got like raised text or something. You're like,
Right, because
oh,
otherwise it's just like, this is just a black piece of fabric. How do I
Yeah,
know this is
essentially.
money?
I have no way of knowing this is money. Oh, it's actually $100 bill. How am I supposed to know that? I mean, hey, there are all kinds of, Bitcoin. There's, we're gonna come up with some new currency ideas, and then, we're gonna market it hot off the presses here on the Scream stream, and it'll be the next craze for a week, and then people will be on to the next thing. So
Get your goth dollars before we forget this idea.
your
and
goth dollars, yes, I
we'll
love that.
figure out the exchange rate later.
Right, yes, leave it to us. We'll do the math. Evan will do the math. I can't do math. And we'll work it out, and it'll be worth the wait. Trust me. Speaking of worth the wait, we're waiting to see what the hell is gonna happen with this meteor on Phantom Creeps. Again, we're gonna be watching Chapter 9, Speeding Doom, which is a good title, very good title. And so I'm hoping that it's not just a bunch of people driving around in cars the whole time. But I'm gonna go ahead and go on a limb here and say it's probably just a bunch of people driving around in cars the whole time.
There's a good chance of that.
There's a very good chance of that. It's greater than none. Again, that's what I'm saying. Evan and I are at the point now that we've watched 8 of these, so we can pretty much tell you that it gets to a point where we're just going back and forth, and it's just a lot of traveling in between the same locations. But maybe
But we're
again,
so deep in. I'm pretty
deep in.
invested at this point.
We have to figure out what happens to this meteor, or this MacGuffin that has been making Lugosi invisible and killing henchmen, and
I can't remember. Have they ever actually shown the meteor, or is it just the box?
I feel like it's just the box. They showed, and it got stock footage from another movie that Lugosi's in, but they show like Lugosi's scientist character going and getting like the meteor rock, but I don't think we actually seen it. We just seen the box, and so we know what's in the box.
Didn't have the budget for a meteor prop.
No, they did not. They certainly did not. Again, just a fancy box. That's all you need. Who needs to spend the money, who needs to write a involved story if you can just keep your characters moving, trying to get hold of that box. And that's the plot, essentially.
Keep the characters moving, and the audience will be too busy trying to keep track of everyone that they won't notice that your thing doesn't have any plot.
Well, and I gotta say, it would be much more grating if you were trying to sit and watch the whole thing at once,
True.
Because it would just be like, okay, what, we're just going back and forth. It works better in weekly installments, because you're kind of like,
right,
you're trying to catch back up, you're trying to remember what happened, and it's Then before you know it, it's over, and it ends very fast with a.
30 minutes of this is fun. 4 hours straight would probably
It
not
would be
so.
ridiculous. And I mean, honestly, for these episodes, you know, the cliffhangers are always fun, but I felt wasn't last week's cliffhanger like not good? Isn't it like super abrupt? And
well, I don't know.
We'll get a recap.
So they were in the burning building.
Yeah, they were
and
in.
It was just it was a bunch of
stock footage.
right?
That's right. Yep.
That was the cliffhanger.
It was pretty much just cliffhanged on a whole bunch of stock footage at the end, and so it was kind of underwhelming when we gotten some good models and some, you know, some good action most of the time with these cliffhangers.
I feel like they kind of phoned in last week.
Yeah, I think we might have. I think you or Fresh might have touched on this last week, but the idea, maybe in past weeks, but the idea that they must have really blown most of their budget on the first couple chapters, and now it's just, oh shit, we have to keep this going for like 6 more episodes than we thought. Okay, what do we do?
12 of these? I
thought you said 6. I got to do 12. So it just kind of
break out the stock footage.
The second half has certainly left a little more to be desired, but maybe that will change tonight with chapter 9, Speeding Doom. So, Evan, if you've got it queued up.
Yep.
All right, then we are going to go ahead and get into it. So, without further ado, Chapter 9 of the Phantom Creeps. Here we go. And you read the whole thing last week, didn't you, Evan?
Quick.
You read very quick. It was fast.
An auctioneer.
There's no way I'd be reading that fast.
The spies.
The spies. Steal the meteorite from Zorka. Oh yeah, he was pretending to be somebody else. Nobody recognized him. I forgot about that terrible plot
because
device.
he's dead.
He's dead.
Look there!
Hey, isn't that Dr. Zane?
Oh yeah, good old Dr. Zane. He just moved in across the street. He's a good guy.
He's got his box.
That, you know, that box that he always carries around with him doesn't look familiar to me at all.
So, finished last week. Start this week with the exact same footage.
Yep. Gotta love it. Gotta love these recaps. Just, yep. All this stock footage. Isn't it glorious?
Watch out for all of these windows.
Look, yeah, for this straight wood. Don't worry about the fire collapsing and on you or anything. Jeez. Who did they even pull out? I don't even recognize who they got.
Come out of that alive. What are you doing up there? I'm talking west of EMI. Lieutenant Daly. Help me get him to the car.
Yay, they lived.
Did they survive the fire?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Does he see?
No.
There's a problem.
It must be the gangsters, yeah.
Close in on him.
Close in on it.
Get his tires.
Get his tires.
Driving down this same stretch of road again.
Yep, gotta love it. Same stretch road.
Car shootout again. Oh, to be damaged.
That same giant tree everybody pulls up to. Gotta love it. Ooh,
Whoa. Is he pretending?
he's punking him. He's definitely punking him.
Dr. Zane.
Dr. Zane.
Yeah, and Zane is Zorka, as I suspected. Now we've
I
got
knew it
him
the
and
whole
this
time.
mysterious box, the source of all his power. Get him into the other car.
He's letting himself get captured. Sweet Feet's in the house. Yes.
Hey.
I knew it all along.
Now to get his mysterious box. Whoa.
Could be the new Stranger Things fresh. I mean, hey, I can't speak from knowledge. I'm gonna go ahead and tell everybody I haven't seen it, so I'm a rebel.
Yeah, the best part of the new season is when they get the box back to get superpowers for the little girl.
Right, exactly. How could I forget? Renegade, yeah, right. Renegade? Here's a renegade, Bela Lugosi, out here, and they're using this. It looks like they're using the same footage of an invisible log hitting people. The same bushes.
Why do his clothes turn invisible but the gun doesn't?
It's the law of invisibility. That's how it works, is that in here your clothes do go invisible. Yeah, just wait, Sweet Feet, Andy and Opie are gonna come right out from behind that bush with their fishing poles, whistling along. Yes, right, Fresh. I heard it too.
Yeah. Sure, I'll talk.
Tell me where those men have taken my property.
I don't know. All right. The chief has a shipload of ammunition and a schooner off Valdez Landing.
Yeah,
load
yep,
my
spill it. Spill them beans. Get out of my sight, you terrible, terrible henchman.
The spies.
Now the reporter's in the mix.
Yeah.
She's
Luckily,
back.
there's only like 5 people in this entire world, and they just
Yeah.
keep running into each other.
And this is the only woman, so she, no, I mean, that's just the way this serial has worked, so she's easier to keep track of than all these men in fedoras.
To sleep until I need you again.
To sleep. Oh, one of those, the spiders are back, yay! I miss the spiders.
The spiders are so convoluted.
Gotcha, bitch. I don't know how the spiders work, but
This is my 2-stage sci-fi device featuring a hog and a really fake-looking spider.
It may be really fake looking,
We almost had the
but it
mystery
gets the
box
job
and someone
done.
broke into the room. Jim and I did the best we could, but there are too many of them.
Yeah. Somebody upset some chemicals and started a blaze, and I got conked in the head, that's all I know.
You'll be shipshape in a little while.
It's always the most
Think those men got away with
incompetent
Someone did.
people that get
Well, at least
hired
you know it's in
for
the hands
law
of the
enforcement in
firing.
these things. Oh, here we go. What have you been up to, you terrible, terrible assistant?
They'd be better off having Andy Griffith coming after Dr. Zorka.
You failed to recover.
Yeah,
the
he would be
meteorite?
much more
I never
effective.
fail. I'm only being delayed.
Doctor,
I know all
you
that.
gotta
But those
cut
people,
out all this
Frank
mad
and
scientist
Carl,
stuff.
They give you $1 million for it.
Yeah, well,
They haven't
of course,
come.
Matlock
They
would be
recovered
at
it
the
within a few
trial.
hours. And how? By dragging me out in the daylight.
Let's
But
do
they
it.
can
Let's
pick me
get
up and throw me
Matlock
back
in
the pen.
here
Despite of what you done
to
to change my
defend
appearance,
Lugosi, and then we really, then we're cooking.
Isn't it weird that you never see Andy Griffith and Matlock in the same room?
It is really weird. I've always wondered about that, and and that's the thing. Matlock is just too busy winning cases. He's just, all the time. Just constantly got a new person to defend. Somebody's got to clear their name. Man, I haven't watched Matlock in a minute. It's been a minute. Get back on my Matlock kick. this? What shenanigans is she about to get into? Mixed up with these gangsters again.
At what point can she just like walk away and say, "Yeah, I think I got my scoop"?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta have some kind of. The newspaper has got to be like, all right, you've wasted too much of our time and our money on our resources on this story. All you have is that they went from point A to point B and back and forth again 6 times. You have nothing.
Driving up and down the state for a week. You've got nothing.
You've got nothing, and I'm not going to pay these gas receipts. This is ridiculous.
Take it easy, little Daly. That was a pretty hard crack you got. Oh, that's nothing. Hello. Oh, you're back.
She's playing the long game. She wants the meteorite for herself.
Oh, wouldn't that be something? That would be
That
cool.
would be a twist. I'd be very impressed.
Without any cues where it's gone. And if those foreign agents get Zorka's secret out of the country, we're apt to find ourselves at war within a few weeks. Dr. Mallory speaking. Yes, just a minute. Miss Drew says she's on a hot trail. Thanks. Hello.
So we're actually going to go ahead and take a break because I didn't even realize that tonight's episode is a shorter episode. I believe so. It looks shorter. Yeah, it's definitely shorter. So we are going ahead and going into our break. So I mean, what Lugosi got the meteor back again, I guess? Is that what happened?
Did he?
No, did he not?
They took it to that boat.
They took it, and now Lugosi's back in his lab.
Yeah.
And they're trying to, I guess,
I don't
get
know why
it.
he went back to the lab.
Yeah. Maybe get the robot. Finally get the robot out of the lab. They're never going to get the robot out of the lab. Who am I kidding? It's going to be stuck in there.
They built the lab around the robot.
Right. You can't get him out. It's his head will not fit under the door. You got to take him apart if you want him out of the... And then you got to reassemble
We don't have
him.
time for that.
Can't have no time for that. You know how long you took to put together? So tonight's, it's already been hard for me to track what even has transpired in this episode. Basically, Lugosi almost got captured, but he was able to use his belt and he got away. And now the gangsters have the meteor, or they've had the meteor.
Second down. Or the coach just called a timeout.
Right, timeout. There's their second. They've only got one more timeout left in the first half. 30 seconds to play in the second quarter. So we're gonna see how it shakes out. I mean, yeah, again, speeding doom. I can only imagine that the cars are going to get back in it.
They'll go really fast.
Yeah,
Like,
wouldn't
way
that be
faster than
something?
we've
And I
seen.
hope it's not just stock footage of fast cars. Par for the course, judging off, again, last week's episode, and if they did just blow their whole budget on the first 5 chapters, then it's just going to be stock footage of speeding cars at the end. Hey, it'll be worth it. It'll definitely be worth it.
All worth it.
All worth it. Hey, and again, we're getting to enjoy our Wednesday evenings watching Bela Lugosi ham it up and try to rule the world. Which in this case only seems to be a very small section of California. They're just, jetting.
It's a small world. Okay?
It's a small world in Serial Land. But again, Lugosi's getting to act up storm and have a good time, so that's always fun to see. You're always in for a treat. So Lugosi, again, we have been every Wednesday kind of talking a little bit about his career and the different stages of it. Last week we talked about, or I guess, I bore you guys with these details, but it's fun for me to establish a little bit of context about the man, the myth, the legend, since we will spend so much time with him between these minisodes certainly, but also as many times as we get him on the mainstream, which we will be watching a Lugosi movie for the season finale for season 2.
All right.
So that's, still more Lugosi to come this season, but his career is really interesting. It's really cool to me. So last time we were talking about 1943, he had just done Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman, and that was kind of his last, he did that, and he did Return of the Vampire for Columbia, which was it was basically a Dracula sequel without being a Dracula sequel, because it was a Columbia movie, not a Universal movie. And so they just called it Return of the Vampire, and they had him, I think the vampire's name in that is Armand Tesla. And so that's, cool,
Wow.
Tesla the vampire, pretty cool. But no, he's good in that movie. But after that,
does he have a coil?
Yes, well, he should be surrounded by coils, you would think. No coils. Just a werewolf sidekick, really. That's the,
He just has an electric car.
Yes, and you're right. Actually, it's Morbius. That's what it is. It's Return of the Morbius. You're right, Cylon. He says it's Morbin time again.
Wait, could we make a sequel to that film and just have it similarly be a spiritual sequel to that, and a spiritual sequel of a sequel to Dracula?
Well, hey, now you can make sequels to Dracula now, because if you're talking about the novel and the character and not the movie specifically, because that stuff is public domain. So yes, but yes, it's Morbin time. Yes. And what was it? What's the one? Oh, y'all were talking about Stranger Things earlier. Whatever that new monster is in Stranger Things, people are like, it's Vecna time or whatever it is. Morbid mode. I like that. Yeah, there's a good
Morbid mode.
variation. Morbid mode. And God knows Lugosi did go Morbid mode many times. But yeah, I mean that was he really didn't get to play vampires as many times as you would think.
As many times as he should have.
As many times as he should have, definitely. I mean, he could have made a career out of playing vampires, but he kind of again got ignored for a lot of his career, and for most of the mid 40s, late 40s, he started making less and less movies. He wasn't getting offered great roles. He wasn't getting roles at big studios. So, but one of the good movies that he did get offered a role for, which we're about to see a trailer for on the break, is a movie called The Body Snatcher. And it is from RKO, from a producer named Val Lewton, who did all these great horror movies for RKO in the 1940s that were more where Universal had the monster stuff. RKO did psychological horror movies, but The Body Snatcher is a little more, it's more of a period piece, kind of, not true crime, but it's based on real events. And Bela Lugosi is not the star, but he is prominently featured in this trailer, as opposed to other movies that Lugosi is in where he's, you barely see him in the trailer. But the star of The Body Snatcher is Boris Karloff. So you get to see a lot of him and a lot of Lugosi, even though Lugosi's not actually in the movie for very long. He's still really good in it. And then I do have a second trailer tonight, and it's for a movie from 1947 that Lugosi starred in called Scared to Death, which was an indie color movie that I really inexplicably love. It's one of my favorite movies, even though it's terrible. But I can't explain it. But that was like most of what Lugosi kind of got offered in the back half of his career were really, really cheap movies that used him, used his name as star billing, and it wasn't really utilizing his talents in the right way. So he did a couple more movies in the late 40s, and then for a while really kind of took a step back from film acting. But we're going to see these two trailers, and then when we come back, we're going to get into the exciting conclusion of Chapter 9 of The Phantom Creeps.
You and I should work together.
You mean we would sell the bodies to the doctors together?
Dig them up? There'll be no digging. The kirkyards are too well guarded. We will, so to speak, burk them.
Ray killed her.
We can't be sure of that.
I'm sure, and I mean to report it. It's like Burke and Hare all over again.
That is.
Grave robbing is one thing, but this is murder.
You ordered this subject, received it here and paid for it. That makes you a party to murder.
You must leave this house.
I can't do that. You heard McFarlane.
Save yourself, Master Fetters. Look at McFarlane.
Gray, I must be rid of you. You become a cancer, a malignant, evil cancer, rotting my mind.
You'll never get rid of me, Tony.
You're not unaware of my position in this house.
Well, maybe you can tell us about it.
I'm being kept a prisoner here against my will. I'm alone and friendless. They're trying to destroy my mind mentally. By innuendo and indirection, they're trying to make me believe I've done something dreadful in the past.
Perhaps I can explain, Mr. Lee. We don't believe there's anything wrong with Laura now. But we are sure something will happen to her mind if she continues to live under this strain.
Just as I told you, they're behind it. Can't I make that clear to you? They spend all their time trying to terrify me.
Just put the blindfold on, and you will know the truth.
No!
And we are back. I did not have myself unmuted there for a second. We are back. So that was a trailer for The Body Snatcher and Scared to Death. And they're both, like, well, The Body Snatcher is definitely a good movie. I've only seen it a couple times. I haven't seen it too many times, but it is good. Karloff is good. Lugosi's really good. And it's, again, that producer, and I think the director also I think it was Robert Wise, and he was a guy who would go on to direct all these famous movies. He directed like The Sound of Music and like the first Star Trek movie. He did a bunch of other stuff, but Robert Wise started out doing these low budget horror movies at RKO, and a lot of them had Karloff, but that was the Body Snatcher was the only one that also had Lugosi in it. So that was another. I think that might have been the last time that they were paired together on screen. I think the last.
He should have brought them back for The Sound of Music and
right. Well, yes, and then wouldn't it have been ironic to see Lugosi and Karloff singing "The Hills Are Alive" with The Sound of Music? Right. You wouldn't expect it. That's the joke. That's why it's funny. That's so it was originally meant to be a comedy, and that's why it works.
Which one would play the Nazi?
Oh, definitely Lugosi for sure. I mean,
but he is the master of menace.
Well, it's honestly maybe not. It's kind of surprising that Lugosi didn't get offered Nazi role, but I mean, he's distinctly, I think, not German. I mean, and Karloff, I don't know. I don't think Karloff.
He's pretty European, but he's not exactly.
Yeah, German. I don't think Karloff ever played a Nazi. Sylarn would maybe know, but I don't believe that he did. He played a lot of shady characters, and Karloff was actually part Indian, part from Indian.
Oh, interesting.
And like if you see images of Karloff in color, you see that he actually has like a dark complexion, and
okay.
Yeah, and it, like
in the black and white, he looks kind of pale.
Well, yes, and they're caking those guys with makeup most of the time to make them very pale because they're playing scary, horrible men. So you make their faces really pale, and you put black makeup under their eyes, or in Karloff's case, in the Black Cat, you put eyeliner on him, a bunch of eyeliner, and he looks terrifying. And
amazing,
killer widow's peak. But yeah, and so then in the other trailer we saw Scared to Death. It's we're gonna watch it on the stream. It's public domain. I think I've got it in season 4. And
I was wondering.
Yeah, and it's a comfort movie for me. I cannot explain it. It's one of those movies that I constantly find myself watching. I cannot count the number of times that I've watched it. Like a lot of movies I could say, I've watched it a couple times. I've watched this movie so many times I've lost count. And I don't know why. But we'll get to answer that question when we actually watch Scared to Death. Right now we're about to get into the exciting conclusion of chapter 9 of the Phantom Creeps.
We are speeding to our doom.
Speeding to our doom. Thank you for the assist there, Evan. He makes the pass and it's good. Thank you, Evan. Yeah, so we are speeding to our doom. So I think, Evan, if you've got it queued up.
Yep. That was a completed pass.
All right. Well, then we are going to get started with Speeding Doom right now.
Yeah, where are they now?
They took a boat to a schooner at anchor off Valdez Landing. Yes, I made inquiries. The name of the schooner is Lottie Carson, but nobody seems to know who owns her around here.
That's a good job, Gene. Now listen, I'll send Jim Daly and his men down to join you. Now you stay near that dock and don't get in any trouble.
Not bad for a nosy reporter, eh?
She's gonna
All
get
right,
into
Captain, I'll be looking for
trouble.
Jim.
Come on now.
Gene found the memo.
You're just setting her up for that.
I guess
He's
I'll have to
definitely going
apologize
to the
for some of
boat.
the things I said to her. Where is it now?
Without a
Where's
doubt.
the Lottie Carson anchored off the lower harbor? On a ship. That means you'll have to get help from the harbor police. No, I've got a better idea than that. Jim, you take Max and Parker,
Drive to Valdez Landing. You'll meet Gene
Get
there.
more people in fedoras.
We're not going to the cops. We're going to round up our posse of fedora men.
Hit these red shirts out here and get them in the car and speed them to their doom.
Haven't they done this bit already? The plane, the boat.
The plane, the boat, the cars, yes. Yes, it's just like a recycled version of whatever chapter 4 or 5 was.
We need somebody to drop with pinpoint accuracy some grenades on this boat.
Right, right. Just take it out.
Go rent the motorboat.
You going to wait here?
Yes, and hurry.
So, gonna go out on a limb and say the boat's also stock footage.
Oh, for sure, without a doubt. How could it not be?
You must have come by slow freight.
Where is that windjammer?
Anchored up there.
Oh, that's fine. Bob phoned for a boat. Let's go get it.
Are we going aboard?
I hope not. Come on, I'll tell you our plans as we go.
Yep, definitely.
It's just the same shot every time.
Back down in the hold and keep it away from ammunition and powder. We don't want to blast the bottom out of this one.
That's all right, as long as it's in this insulated case.
It's alright. It's
Well,
the
we're not
case
leaving
is
any chance.
perfectly protected.
Why can't we up anchor and get out of this?
We can't get clearance without an inspection. We'll wait until darkness and then try and slip out without lights.
Here these two come rolling in, rolling up to the docks.
Let's sneak up on this boat. Broad daylight.
Jesus, everybody's speeding somewhere in something different. Not just the same shot with an overlay of binoculars
What are we going
on.
to do? Wait and watch. Our next move
They
is to
definitely
handle
look like
what
they're
happens
in a
out
boat.
there. What do you make
They're
of it,
on a
Skipper?
boat.
3 men and a girl
They're on a
aboard. Give me
boat.
that.
Don't you ever forget.
Never.
It's the G-man and the girl is that newspaper woman I told you about.
The G-men, eh? Uh-oh.
Got all the players here.
Bob's coming.
Here he comes.
Uh-oh. Oh, maybe not stock footage?
There he is.
I don't know.
Hollywood, didn't he?
I don't know, maybe not.
That's wild.
Big plane is the speeding dude.
What's the fool trying to do?
What is he trying to do? Is he even flying that plane? What's he doing?
He's not flying the
He's
plane.
not even flying
That's
that
what-
plane.
That's what he's doing for one.
What? He just threw a knife down there?
The message on it.
Message received. You'll be bombed. Obey instantly or you will be bombed.
Unless you obey instantly.
Instantly. Act now. Time is running out.
These guys, did they read it? Did they read my note?
Oh shoot, there were bombs back there.
Got a lot of bombs.
See how high up he got?
Not a very good shot.
It's all right with me with our boat full of explosives.
Wait, nothing.
Yeah, wave that white flag. Abandon ship, bail, 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 bail.
Fool. If he bombs the ship with my meteorite aboard, it will blow up the harbor. They're sending it to us.
You gonna let them give it to the G-men?
The G-men.
The meteorite has not left the ship. How do you know?
Ooh, got
If we're
him.
on a small boat, that needle would be following it.
Y'all about to get ambushed.
I'm trying to pull one over on a guy with bombs.
Yep, do it. Ambush. It's a boat full of people punching each other. Oh, I love that. I can't slow down. Oh shit! Some Fast and Furious shit going on. Oh,
Is this the speeding dude?
it's gotta be. Uh-oh. Ah! What are you gonna do? Ah! Ah! Oh!
Yeah!
Oh! That was good. Wow. Shit, bro. That boat got smashed to pieces.
It got blown to smithereens. There's no way anyone would survive
No,
that.
they would all be dead. I was not. I was expecting it to cut right before that thing hit, but no, it just plowed into that buoy marker so hard.
Wow.
That was incredible.
Rip all of those people.
Rip. Yeah, I'm sure we've seen the last of the reporter and that one cop and all these other people with fedoras that were fighting each other on this boat. This came crashing into this buoy marker, or I don't even know what it was. Man,
I don't know, that popsicle stick boat was no match.
that's what I'm saying, man. You have to appreciate the model work, the craftsmanship that goes into the model work. That, hey, I mean, even if it was popsicle sticks, it's still, hey, it's
It managed to get it to explode in a
it
very
really
satisfying
did. I mean,
way.
that thing just, it was wild, and those people would for sure be dead.
Yeah, so great job.
Good job. Props to the model men at Universal on that one.
It's all worth it.
There was a little bit left in the kitty to be able to, maybe we'll get some more models in these last remaining chapters that we have.
Yeah, there's only 3 more.
Yes, only 3 more. It's 12 chapter serial, so we have chapters 10, 11, and 12, which we will be wrapping up over the coming weeks. We are getting ready to experience some scheduling. I'm trying to think of a fun word that isn't
Trying to put a fun spin on this.
spin on this. Some scheduling
opportunities.
Surprises, maybe.
Surprises.
Some scheduling
Okay.
surprises. Well, it's not really surprises, but it is over the next couple weeks. We've got 3 episodes left for the main Scream stream, and then 3 episodes of the Phantom Creeps left. And I'm going to be experiencing some scheduling conflicts personally this Friday for sure. So as of right now, we are not planning on doing the stream this Friday, which was going to be Revolt of the Zombies. There's a small chance if the event that I'm going to get stormed out on Friday, that we may just go for it, and we may try to knock out Revolt of the Zombies this Friday. But right now we're planning with the probability that I will not be available this Friday, so we will
stay tuned. Keep your eyes peeled for an emergency last-minute stream.
Yes, could be emergency last-minute stream, and I have not talked to Evan and Fresh about the possibility of if they just want to get on and bullshit in the slot, the time slot for 2.5 hours.
Fill that air with
something. Gotta fill that air with something. So what? Literally just anything. But yeah, so we will plan for if I don't surprise you with Revolt of the Zombies this Friday at 9, then we're looking at the next Friday, which is Friday the 15th of July. And then there will be one other week in this season that I think I'll have to push back kind of later in July, and then we'll be able to wrap up season 2 and get ready for season 3, and that'll be a lot of fun. And it's actually good, pushing things back a little bit, because it now season 3 will still be going on during October and Halloween, because originally season 3 was supposed to be done like the second or third week in October. And I was like, that's when we were supposed to go on our next break. And I was like, or no, it was on Halloween week that we were supposed to be on break. And I was like, we can't be on break during Halloween. This is prime time. We got to have episodes going. So,
who are we?
Yeah. What am I doing? I'm failing my audience if I'm not doing more during Halloween. So I think all the scheduling stuff will work out. But the next couple weeks there will be a couple Fridays that we may not be live with the Scream stream, but we will keep doing these mini-sodes. Again, we've got 3 more, so one of these next week we'll probably skip out on a mini-sode, but we're getting to the exciting conclusion of the mini-sode, exciting conclusion of season 2 for the mainstream. So all in all, pretty good stuff.
Got some good movies coming up.
Very good movies. Yes. We've got some good movies to close out season 2, and then season 3 is, another just great crop of movies that again, I'm having to go and change the lineup and move movies around, so I'm not playing all the good movies in the first couple seasons. So I have to go and get some silent movies and throw them in here and get some, so
right. It's like being a DJ. You gotta save some of the good songs until
right.
everybody's at the club.
Not a responsible DJ if I'm just over here blasting top 40 or just all your throwbacks or all your favorite hits. Just, you got to mix in some deep cuts. You got to mix in some things that maybe people don't like, just because, it's just it's the theme, the theme of whatever you're doing. And the theme of our public domain horror movie show means that whatever terrible, horrible movies are lurking within the public domain that are even close to being classified as horror, we're going to bring them to you. No matter what you might say about the quality or objectively about whether it is good or bad. Or I guess I should say subjectively. Most people are speaking subjectively on that. But yeah, so we're wrapping up, and it's been a lot of fun. You can catch all of our past mini-sodes if you missed. You want to catch up on our Phantom Creeps episodes up to tonight. You can check those out on our YouTube page. Also, episodes of the main stream on our YouTube page, our Instagram. I post the movies for the week, the drinks for the week, which of course, we would also normally announce the drink for Friday's movie, but not knowing if we're gonna do the movie on Friday. I mean, what do you do? Do you want to tease it, Evan, or do you want to just leave it a surprise?
Well, I guess no matter when the next episode will be, it will be the same movie, right?
Very true. Yes.
So we do have the next cocktail if you'd like to prepare.
Please.
The next episode, of course, we're watching Revolt of the Zombies, and so the next drink is the zombie, which is made with white rum, spiced rum, dark rum, some lime juice, lemon juice, pineapple juice, passion fruit syrup, some bitters, some grenadine, and with a mint garnish. So a lot of ingredients in this one, but sounds pretty good.
Sounds very good. I'm very excited for it. And yeah, it's an intricate recipe for sure. But it sounds delicious. So
very summery. Sounds like something you drink by a pool.
It definitely does. It is
on a beach.
It is got kind of you know, with that pineapple and also the what was it, passion fruit or something, was it?
Yeah. Gonna have to hunt that one down.
Yeah, I mean, hey, but it does seem like a lot of these ingredients are ones that we have been using.
True.
A fair amount. So God knows we've been I feel like we've been using a fair amount of grenadine recently. So
yeah, we have had a few with some grenadine.
Staying on the grenadine train. Yeah, so the zombie cocktail sounds delicious. I'm very excited for that. So when we watch Revolt of the Zombies, go out, get that cocktail, those cocktail ingredients, and enjoy that. And I will not have a meal to pair with the film, unfortunately. But you know, after next week, I'll have so much more time on my hands. I'll just, you know.
Right, maybe we save that for season 3.
All right. That's yes. We'll start making the grand debut of a new segment, and once we come up with a clever name for it, yes, you'll get surprised.
By season 4, it'll be a 3-course meal.
Exactly. I mean, if we haven't come up with a good desserts to pair with the movies by season 4, then I think we're just slacking. So we'll be on top of that for our loyal viewers, our wonderful audience out there. And thank you for tuning in tonight. You know, we had Sylar and Sweet Feet Fresh, and anybody else that tuned in, thank you, we appreciate it. Evan, anything else before we sign off this evening?
Yeah, maybe not.
Oh, thought he had something, and then it just, you know. All right. Well, thanks everybody so much for joining us. Evan, thank you for joining me. We'll catch you guys maybe on Friday, definitely next Wednesday. So until then, sweet screams, everybody.
Bitch, please.